What is a shadow campaign? For some, it's a Hollywood term about spies, clandestine agencies, and subterfuge. For others, it's a critical video online. But for me, shadow campaigns might simply be an effort to uncover the truth. I have been accused twice now of operating or being a part of some sort of shadow campaign. That idea is quite obviously laughable, but today, hypothetically, I'd like to embrace this idea. What if I were part of a shadow cabal? What if I were a digital agent online? And if that were to be true, what should be my goal? I puzzled over this for quite some time, but I think I finally answered the question. In this hypothetical world of shadow campaigns and secret organizations, I would want to be an agent of good. Given the choice, I would be found seeking to tear down deception and protect the innocent. Perhaps that's an overly idealistic version of myself, born of a misguided God complex, but in today's hypothetical video, I believe it's time to indulge this idea. Sounds good, right? But how do I do that? What topic do I choose? Who do I try and help? And most importantly, how do I know I'm right? The answers here seem impossible. I would need to find a topic where injustice has been done, I would need to find a topic with impact, and I would need to disrupt some sort of grand illusion, pulling back the veil from deep inside these hypothetical shadows. That's no small task, but in order to explore this hypothetical world, I believe I have found a suitable topic, and that topic is, surprise, surprise, business casual and Alex Edson. You might notice that I'm being overly dramatic right now, which is by design. I've been accused twice of being part of a shadow cabal or shadow campaign, once by the CEO of Earth 2, and now by the CEO of Business Casual, so I figured, what the hell, why not have some fun? What would I hypothetically do if I was part of a shadow campaign? I think I'd begin by looking at history. I've already done 2 videos about the negative consequences of the now viral lawsuit against YouTube that Business Casual has opened, had thrown out of court, and vowed to open again, but neither of those videos has looked back in time or given a voice to people that were never really heard. I focused on law, I focused on inconsistency, and I focused on hypocrisy, but I never took proper time to explore the past. Today, I'm going to rectify that oversight and indulge myself, as well as all of you, in a journey through time, the way an agent of shadow might act if they theoretically existed. Let's begin. Business Casual, as we all know, is vowing to sue YouTube as far as the Supreme Court for failing to terminate all of Russia Today's various different YouTube channels. They do this on the basis of copyright infringement, with a passionate argument by the company's CEO, Alex Edson, long form, on YouTube. But who is Alex Edson? Who is he really? We are all, every single one of us, a product of time. We learn, we grow, we adapt, and we change. But where we come from, what we build, and where we go next are all deeply connected. Where did Alex Edson come from? And through that knowledge, what can we glean about the boy he is today? I started my hypothetical journey through the shadows with a simple Reddit post and a subsequent comment. The post was Business Casual's unhinged lawsuit against YouTube, claiming that they are working with the Russian government and the Kremlin to undermine the United States of America as a result of copyright, but the comment was far more interesting. From a self-professed former editor of Business Casual, the YouTube channel, Alex Edson is not the original owner. It is claimed that he bought the channel from its previous owner for a hefty sum of money after his prior position as the CEO of a multi-channel network called Power TV. That's very interesting, and as we journey through these hypothetical shadows, pieces of the puzzle like this are all too valuable. But where to next? Well, obviously we need to verify and cross-reference. A simple comment on Reddit with a few links that we can explore later needs to be checked, and what better way than Alex's own words. In a sworn affidavit where he brags heftily about prior accomplishments, Alex Edson swears under oath that he founded his own agency, a YouTube MCN subnetwork. Unfortunately, the name is not included here, but knowing that Edson was indeed the founder, owner, and CEO of a multi-channel network, verification becomes significantly easier. First, Alex Edson's About.me page contains a stone-cold assertion that he was the CEO of Power TV. The Google snippet attached to his Facebook page, though no longer current, lists a title of CEO at Power TV, and according to activity from the Fastlane forum, he was a member there in early 2018, it seems, his company, Power TV, amassed nearly 10 billion annual views at peak performance, which would align precisely with his sworn affidavit. One could reasonably assume, were there to be some sort of shadow agent online, that Alex Edson is likely the prior CEO of Power TV, a multi-channel network on YouTube, and that as per another post on the Fastlane forum, he ran this network by himself for a period of 2 years. Cool, where to next? Well, logically, we should now follow up on the links contained within that very first Reddit thread. This is Rainimator, a Minecraft YouTuber, who alleges that Alex Edson manipulated them into a deal promising a $100,000 contract, but when the deal was officially signed, he ousted the creator from their very own channel and deleted all the evidence. This is, of course, merely one side of a complicated scenario, but now that we have a thread to pull, well, the Shadow Cabal demands more. Exploring that thread and beginning to plumb the depths of Twitter for keyword searches like Alex Edson and Power TV, we start to find a pattern. Below that initial post are allegations from someone claiming to be the head of recruitment for Edson, who says that they brought on some big clients and then never got paid. This user goes on to say that Edson previously attempted to have him false flag videos and would go after accounts that didn't sign with him, providing screenshots that paint an out-of-context yet troubling picture where Edson allegedly says things like, "Do you mind putting out a tweet telling people to flag Tommy's latest vid?" or "We'll make it up to him by taking down this guy's channel." For someone as passionate and vocal as Edson about fairness and ownership, as he nearly weeps on camera, proclaiming that YouTube cannot be allowed to get away with their treachery, I believe it's worth digging further. Contained in that very same thread is a user named Cody, who runs The Atlantic Craft on YouTube, a channel with 6 million subscribers, who says, quote, "I do know this. Power TV is an awful company. Stay far away from that sleazeball, Alex Edson," end quote. He goes on in his own post to say, "If you are a YouTuber and are contacted by a company known as Power TV or a guy named Alex Edson, block him and never work with him." Chiming in further down on the previous thread is Moose, a Minecraft creator with 5.1 million subscribers, who says, "Alex back at it again, scheming," and tags a couple of users, one of which is Drama Alert. Additional statements include things like, "They even stole a video from Nathan that my studio made. Isn't that technically plagiarism and rights infringement?" End quote. Or, "He still owes me $1,000,000." End quote. But I'd like to focus in more precisely on Drama Alert. It turns out that the official Drama Alert Twitter account posted about this very topic. In 2016, Keemstar posted the following, quote, "Power TV, a YouTube MCN, is false flagging Kevin MMP video exposing them for being shady. We need help," and then a couple of other tags, including H3H3 Productions. And beneath that post is a deluge of enormous creators offering feedback. Jobless Garrett, who says, quote, "This is just scratching the surface. A lot of partners and prior partners are scared to speak up due to legal threats," end quote. The CEO of Wonderworks, currently, Zach, says, "I think I could gather at minimum a dozen people to testify against this guy. Crappy, sexist third-party network," end quote. And this is corroborated by the creator Gizzy Gaza. An enormous creator named Megan Plays chimes in saying, quote, "Tried to ruin the life of a third-party 17-year-old artist in spite of a YouTube channel that did not want to re-partner with them," end quote. With an even more incendiary claim of, "I have a feeling he dislike-botted my channel after he realized I recorded some sexist remarks," end quote. All of this, however, takes a back seat when we consider the main character. Drama Alert was discussing a specific issue, Power TV false flagging Kevin MMP. Now, here's where the shadow agent might hypothetically have found a case to fight for. Could it be that a malicious force was tricking the YouTube creator community into rallying behind him? Could it be that Alex Edson of Business Casual and Power TV was not, in fact, a beacon of light fighting righteously against the corruption of YouTube? Could it be that he was instead a manipulator and a liar? That would be a topic worth pursuing. Kevin MMP, it turns out, is the creator Minute Minecraft Parodies, and Minute Minecraft Parodies happens to have a video explaining their position, an excellent video at that. This is a well laid out, professionally done piece of content that garnered over 50,000 views, and I'll link it down below in the description. But to summarize, Minute Minecraft Productions had engaged in a contract negotiation directly with Alex Edson of Power TV. Remember, according to the forum history of Fastlane, we can assume that for the span of roughly 2 years, Alex Edson ran the entire operation himself. Possibly. No employees, no subordinates, just him. This negotiation, fully detailed in the video by Kevin MMP, outlines a series of contractual claims and obligations undertaken by Mr. Edson. The most important, without question, of these obligations was a team of editors, fully hired and paid for by Power TV to help Kevin MMP with his productions. The contract itself was prone to shady dealings. However, Alex eventually pushed forward a version that was not just 12 months in duration, but 12 months extended from the moment that Kevin MMP expressed his desire to leave. In no uncertain terms, the appearance of this move is to trap a creator in the relationship. Regardless, a contract was signed, an agreement was struck, and yet early in October of 2016, Alex Edson said the following, quote, "The first deal is dead. It was not thought out, stupid, retarded for me to suggest in the first place, and I am sorry." End quote. This is obviously not how contracts are supposed to work, but there was more. Alex Edson would go on to aggressively lobby for a new contract to be done, which allowed him over 70% of Kevin's revenue. The reason, according to Kevin MMP, Alex had told Kevin that he needed to form an S-corp before the contractual agreement could be fulfilled. Kevin obliged, but it turned out Alex had made another mistake. The S-corp filing was wrong, and Alex then hired legal counsel for thousands of dollars under his own volition, trying to sort out the problem. I hope everyone can see the picture emerging. When confronted about all this and more, the video is very comprehensive, Alex became hostile, citing lawyers and pointing Kevin to their non-disparagement clause, then lying to the Skype group chat of other creators in the network about what had transpired. Silencing Kevin seemed like his only option. From there, Kevin began to seek resolution with the parent company of Power TV, Scale Lab, and also with creator support at YouTube. But no luck. His final call in the video is for help with donations for legal counsel, and hypothetically, if I were a true initiate of the Shadow Cabal, I could just go back in time and help him. Sadly, that's not the case. One final word of warning, however, came from Kevin MMP with regards to censorship. You see, Power TV, likely owned and operated by Alex Edson exclusively at the time, had a particular ability with regards to their creators. They could privatize and hide, or effectively suppress, any video that they wanted on affiliates' channels. Kevin MMP sought to find a way around this, but in a world where Alex Edson is demanding that all of Russia Today be stricken from the YouTube platform for stealing mere seconds of parallax footage, remember this ability to unilaterally control what affiliates of his network have on their channels, and the prior accusations that once a contract was signed, Power TV was kicking creators out of their own channel and deleting the evidence. Within an hour of posting this video initially, back when it first happened, Power TV took it down and made it private. The company exercised its own censorious ability and attempted to crush anyone who spoke out, but the public outcry became too large to ignore. Eventually, quickly, I should say, the temperature increased and Kevin MMP was released from the clutches of Power TV. However, in a follow-up video, Kevin went on to outline another event that had recently occurred. A far smaller creator named Tag Animations was under attack as well, and this particular thread also perfectly corresponded with a set of tweets that I had found before all this. A user named Tag Animations had said the following in November of 2016, quote, "When I get home, I'll make an explanation video for both John Scarce and Keemstar on my story with the Power TV MCN CEO, Alex Edson. Hopefully this allows for more people to come out about the awful shit Alex has done to people, big YouTubers." End quote. Up till this point, that was a loose end, a thread with no direction that I had ignored, largely speaking, and a piece of the puzzle with no home. But now it was something far more interesting. Tag Animations had also created a video about his desire to be free of Power TV, and once again, Power TV had made that video on his channel that he created private, suppressing it and removing his voice without consent. What's worse, it is alleged that Alex Edson sent the following to Tag Animations during the course of these events. Quote, "I'll be having my lawyer email PayPal and present evidence to showcase your fraud and failure to execute on goods and services promised in a timely manner, most likely resulting in a permanent ban to prevent you from using all future PayPal services. I'll be emailing your current employer, looks like Best Buy, according to your Twitter picture, and detailing your fraud. Filing an IC3 permanent record police report detailing your internet fraud schemes to scam people out of PayPal money for goods never delivered upon." End quote. This is hardcore intimidation. Contacting employers like Best Buy, trying to ruin his future permanently at PayPal, police reports? Could be a big deal. But we get a clearer picture in Kevin MMP's follow-up as we witness how the tone goes from hostility to timid capitulation under public outcry. From insinuations of legal recourse to, quote, "I took another look at the paragraph in our agreements regarding the term, and I see that it was worded very badly, embarrassingly so. No one wants or expects you to provide 12 months notice to unlink." End quote. This was Alex Edson himself of Power TV. This was a suspect, meek, likely panicked statement of fear trying to control the damage that was rapidly accumulating to Power TV's reputation. But as demonstrated by Kevin in his follow-up, it was false. There had been a clear intention to keep him in the contract for a full 12-month period, and though he himself had been spared and finally achieved freedom from this oppressive network, not everyone else was so lucky. Tag Animations, who I was able to speak with while making this video, fortunately, and who explained to me in detail what had occurred, had his voice cut down, even so far as claiming that Alex Edson charged back over $2,000, almost $2,700, most of which pertained to projects that had been long finished months prior. Working with PayPal, Tag Animations was able to have these charges overturned. PayPal ruled in his favor. They took his side and denied those disputes. But a specific term I'd like to define right now is projection. Projection can be defined as the simple process by which an individual will attribute to others actions or thought patterns that are true of themselves. For Alex Edson, it seems more than possible that his behavior is well described as projection, as he accuses others of committing fraud on PayPal, while at the same time having the platform rule against him in disputed payments. Going further, there were threads appearing by the hour. Next was a video from Raining Ravens, detailing much of the same critical points. His video, titled Power TV MCN Review Bad to Fraud, expressed that once he was linked to Power TV, he lost access to critical YouTube features. He was ignored from the moment he signed. He was trapped in a contract designed to contain him. They took a majority of his earnings. He was stuck for 2 years after they had lied to him and manipulated him into signing on. But if we are hypothetically part of a shadow campaign ourselves right now, there's probably even more to discuss. Next, I came across a twitlonger, and this one would prove to be a critical piece of the puzzle in a multitude of ways. This twitlonger was from a minor at the time, a video editor and graphic designer named Just My Pants on Twitter. Pants was lamenting in a public forum the process by which Alex Edson had nearly, allegedly, ruined their life. Remember, in a world of online conspiracies, shadow campaigns, and the like, everything is an interconnected puzzle. Megan Plays, the YouTuber previously accusing Alex Edson of drastic impropriety, had referenced a 17-year-old artist, stating that Edson had tried to ruin their life. I'll have these sources linked down below. Pretty much everything will be there, but the summarized version is that Pants had been a designer at Power TV providing thumbnails to a specific set of YouTubers. Everything was good, but eventually that group of YouTubers decided to leave the network. Pants was fine and had a loose agreement to keep working with them outside of Power TV, but everything changed when Alex Edson requested an agreement be signed. Alex was pushing hard for this agreement, but when Pants actually got to read it, well, see for yourself. This was a contract with a minor, allegedly, containing a $250,000 penalty clause for breach of exclusivity, thus depriving Pants of any outside work options. And if they were to request a split, 24 months before that could happen. 2 years and $250,000 aimed at completely controlling a young artist. This young artist bravely refused. That should be it, but after some additional trickery on the part of Power TV, it is alleged that Alex Edson attempted to refund all prior payment for artistic services rendered. Remember, in alleged correspondence with Tag Animations, Alex Edson is accused of trying to get the YouTuber banned permanently from PayPal for fraud. But here we can see additional allegations from a different source that he himself was charging back over $5,000 in this particular instance against a minor for services already previously rendered, just because that artist would not subject themselves to a 2-year minimum contract withdrawal period and a $250,000 exclusivity penalty. Correlate this with prior testimony from Tag Animations, and we see that it is not an isolated allegation, but a series of allegations where Alex Edson is accused of charging back PayPal transactions over finished work, denying artists a fair wage, then accusing them of fraud in the aftermath. For a hypothetical agent of shadow, the evidence appears to be mounting, but this one kind of floored me. For anyone interested, you can click the link down below. I'll have a special bullet point right next to it to indicate which link it is, and listen. You can hear the emotion in this person's voice. You can understand just how hurt and saddened and taken advantage of they were. Breaking script for a second here, this one really did floor me. This is Antics. The video got just 219 views, and the channel it is posted on is now abandoned because Antics was pulled into a contract with Power TV that nearly ruined his YouTube career and obviously caused him a great deal of mental agony and stress. At first, Antics was signed on with Curse, the same network I myself use right now as I make this, and things were good. I'll attest to that fact. Curse is amazing. But lured in by Power TV, Antics got trapped, with features on his YouTube disabled, and no option to get free. What matters most, like a giant puzzle coming together, is that Power TV had told him about large YouTubers that they manage and shown him growth stats for them. Those YouTubers were Unspeakable Gaming and Rye Guy Rocky. However, those YouTubers, among others, were no longer with the network. They had left months ago, under allegedly very, very inhospitable circumstances, and this information is directly corroborated by the graphic designer who worked with them, Pants, who we just discussed, in the Twitlonger a few minutes ago. It's like looking through a portal back in time to a voice that wasn't heard, asking for help. This case didn't blow up, it didn't go viral or get tens of thousands of views and attract the help of other creators. This case lived and died with just a couple hundred witnesses, requiring the question to be asked, how many more creators lost their channels? How many more creators fell into the black hole of Power TV, never to be heard from again, or were crushed into the dirt when they tried to speak out by a censorious, power-hungry little... I wonder how many. The copyright cases and precedents cited by Business Casual in their court proceedings against YouTube and RT are all examples of large companies crushing smaller companies on the basis of copyright. Alex Edson allegedly founded and served as the CEO of Power TV, which is wrought with controversy over abusively controlling creators. Long contracts they can't get out of, having their own videos taken down without their consent by the network to silence them if they speak out about anything, having legal threats and threats against their outside career hurled down if they disagree or try to fight back, and so much more. Alleged and substantial PayPal fraud, trying to claw back thousands of dollars from a struggling artist for services already rendered, false flagging, deleting evidence, taking over channels against their will. The list goes on and on. Alex Edson is spreading across YouTube right now, vowing to take the platform down because it is working with the Kremlin to undermine America. But what if he had been working to undermine creators already for years to line his own pockets? While hypothetically researching this for the Shadow campaign, I stumbled across this, a research paper from the University of Chicago and Purdue titled Behind the Tube: Exploitative Monetization of Content on YouTube. In this paper, it is outlined how abusive MCN companies have weaponized the copyright system on YouTube. It is explained what they do, how they do it, and it is claimed that they identified 6 multi-channel networks that heavily engaged in this behavior. I'll link it down below. It's an excellent read for anyone who's interested. Over the course of the investigation for this video, I reached out to all of the researchers responsible. I have not heard back, but sadly it's been quite some time since publication, and I don't have high hopes that I ever will. I inquired about which networks in particular they were referring to, wondering if Power TV would be mentioned. However, according to Alex Edson himself in his sworn affidavit, the network he built would eventually become Scalelab. And Scalelab is mentioned by name in this research paper, though not directly named as one of the 6 identified malicious networks. It is alleged and claimed by numerous sources that Alex Edson built an abusive network known as Power TV. The profits from this organization may very well have been the same money used to buy Business Casual, which he did not originally own. And the allegations are stacked like cordwood, claiming that Edson was a censorious and extremely negative part of the YouTube community for years. Additional clues abound, but many of the strings to pull on have unfortunately been cut. A Reddit thread with comments that pertain to repeated privacy complaints aimed at silencing or suppressing creators after Edson allegedly threw some sort of temper tantrum, but the videos are gone. A series of tweets that reference negative behavior, but the tagged accounts are suspended. Or an archive of comments indicating that after purchase, the Business Casual YouTube channel itself might have been embroiled in scandal, or had someone behind the screen lying to the fans. But a puzzle is only as good as the pieces that fit, and a worthy Shadow campaign needs to consider that. Right now, as I make this, Edson's lawyers appear to be making a stone-cold argument that punishment on YouTube should be handed down before any sort of litigation and without court-settled proof of any kind when it comes to copyright claims, up to and including termination. The target? Significantly less popular videos than his own. Than the videos that he likely bought from an actual creator, utilizing in nearly every single circumstance less than 2 to 4 seconds of footage. It is claimed that YouTube is supporting the Kremlin, but YouTube has taken action against Russia not just because of the war in Ukraine, but also because of COVID misinformation. This is specifically a point of contention that Edson tries to rally behind in his video, but YouTube specifically banned RT in Germany after a bout of COVID misinformation controversy, upholding that suspension even in the face of nearly identical Russian threats. Regardless of your personal stance on misinformation, this indicates with certainty that YouTube is not bound by some secret code of allegiance to Russian state-sponsored media. It merely tries to act in its own best interest. For better or for worse, as a monumental corporation, this fundamental self-interest is rather predictable. It isn't always a good thing, it's rarely a good thing, but it is not a subversion of America because of a litigious troll that didn't get his way. If awarded and if victorious, this case would contradict existing precedent set by Cambridge University Press v. Patton, in which it was determined that copyright infringement does not hinge on the length of the material used if that material constitutes the heart of the piece. No reasonable argument can ever be made that the copied material from Business Casual used by RT constitutes the heart of the piece. And yet, as these lawyers argue against the beneficial nature of YouTube's current system, they argue on behalf of someone who may very well be, if allegations are to be believed, one of the most malicious bad faith actors on the entire platform. Understand, Alex Edson wants channels to be removed and entire networks banned before a court has decided what is and is not fair use. Statements from his lawyer on page 11 of document 31 prove this. He is asking Ivanka Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Mark Cuban, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, the State Department, the CIA, and more to retweet or investigate his case. He is claiming on social media, after receiving completely standard spam emails or text messages as per his own screenshots, the kind we all get, just go click your spam folder and you'll have hundreds, saying, quote, Business Casual and its attorneys have been the target of several cyber hacking attacks following our DMCA takedown requests against the Russian government's RT YouTube channel. We are calling on the FBI to immediately investigate, end quote. He is calling for the FBI and the CIA to investigate because he got spam. This boy is CCing the Department of Justice and the Department of NatSec while he unironically believes that his email spam is a matter of national security. In keeping with the initial joke, all of this is what I would have done if I was part of a shadow campaign, but a few words of sincerity here. Business Casual is unhinged, and I suspect legitimately unwell. His lawsuit is not something to support ever. His prior alleged behavior is appalling, and his alleged track record is to be taken as warning rather than endorsement. I wish him luck in finding mental balance once again, but this endeavor should be dropped. He should not be engaging with creators or pushing this delusion any further. A feeding frenzy driven by anger at Russia, understandable anger at Russia, and dissatisfaction, again understandable, with YouTube, should not be cause for us to blindly follow a boy down a path he cannot justify. It does no favors to him, it does no favors to us, and I fully, sincerely, and deeply hope that this issue can die. But as long as Alex Edson is deleting thousands of replies, censoring his comment section, and continuing to believe that he is fighting for the side of good while pushing this lawsuit through appellate courts and all the way, in his words, to the Supreme Court, the worse it will be and the worse it will get. Somehow, in the case of mass delusion, the YouTube community has been largely tricked into supporting someone that, in my opinion, deserves nothing short of exile. He is not one of us. His claims about YouTube attacking the YouTubers that make YouTube, well, YouTube, do not pertain to him. They pertain to the community he is accused of maliciously and chronically attacking for personal financial gain, as the head of an abusive MCN, allegedly, and if I were the agent of a shadow campaign meant to undermine the embarrassing lawsuit that he is pushing right now, I would probably want everyone to know that. But that's it. I have no doubt he will try to sue me for this kind of sincere criticism. I am well prepared for that. And in a way, it might be the thing that finally shuts down his delusions. But I cannot sit here on this platform as videos go viral seeking to do lasting damage and just say nothing. Well, I've already said some, but I needed to say more. Links down below to support. Specifically a YouTube channel named Glisset, whom I talked with extensively as I produced this, and a Twitter account named Rebane, responsible for cataloging deleted comments on the Business Casual video, of which there are now thousands, as well as some more ways to finance the channel and become a member, etc. But that's it. I consider the matter closed, and the subject dead, unless a lawsuit against me is opened, in which case I will beat the proverbial war drum to its fullest. Have a nice night.